Greetings. It's Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of Candida Crusher and formulator of the CanXida range of products. Thank you again for looking at my video. Today we're going to talk about Mercury Chelation and Candida. Do I have to get all my fillings out? Do I need to get a Mercury Chelation? This is a very interesting question, and some of my views are quite controversial on this matter. So I was one of those people about 25 years ago that had all his amalgam fillings removed a long time ago now. You know, when a lot of people thought it was a load of baloney, that mercury had really no bearing on making you sick. So my doctor thought I was an idiot. My dentist thought I was a fool. So I had to track down a dentist that really was good at removing amalgam fillings, that would use a rubber dam and do a proper job. But back then, it was pretty hard to get really good composite or white kind of fillings, and a lot of my fillings broke, which had to get replaced, and I ended up with a lot of dental problems as a consequence. Today, that's a different matter. Maybe you're one of these people who really believes that mercury is the main source of your candida. Well, don't jump straight into this hoop like a lot of people do, okay? Some practitioners that you're going to go to, some doctors or naturopaths or chiropractors, even some integrative or functional medicine doctors will really hone in on mercury as being like the key problem. Now, I call those doctors one-trick ponies, okay? Everything is a mercury problem. We've got some Lyme disease doctors. You got a hemorrhoid? Lyme's disease. You got erectile dysfunction? Lyme disease. Your hair's falling out? It's got to be Lyme's. Be careful not to fall into the trap of everything is reduced down to a mercury problem, okay? It may well not be. Mercury is certainly linked up with yeast infection, but it's the chicken or the egg. You've got to be careful. Don't really go for the line that all your mercury fillings have to be removed, because then your candida will magically disappear, okay? That can often be promoted by someone who wants to make a couple of $1,000 out of you. So here's my take on it. Get a hair analysis done with a reputable lab like Doctor's Data, for example, in Chicago. There are many different hair analysis labs around. In America, there's some very good ones. So get some hair taken from the nape of the neck and send it in, and get that checked out for mercury levels. You may even want to do a urinary provocation test, where you can take certain substances internally, like DMSA, for example, a sulfhydryl compound that will bind to mercury, and then you'll pee it out, and then the urine can be analyzed to see how much of a spill there is. You can also get what I did. You can get an IV, an intravenous DMPS. Okay, a small amount gets put into the blood, and then that's a little bit more aggressive form of actually sequestering mercury, chelating it, pulling it out, and then dumping it into the bloodstream, and the urine gets analyzed. But I can tell you this: you could give me 100 people, and I can do a provocation on 100, and every single one's going to come back with stuff. With mercury, probably with some arsenic, probably with some lead, probably with other metals. Does that mean that all of those people have got a candida problem because they're showing mercury in their urine? We live in a world that's full of chemicals. We can't separate ourselves from the environment that we're in, from the air, from the water, from the food. If you're eating any commercial poultry, you'll have arsenic in your body. If you live near any kind of highway or road, you'll have cadmium in your body. Where does this crap come from? Well, I learned that cadmium is a metal used in the manufacturing of tyres. So if you live near a road, anywhere near a highway, especially a big highway, and you're breathing in the air, which you probably are unless you walk around gas canisters on your face all day, you're probably going to be breathing in the air. So you're probably going to have some cadmium levels. If you're around any kind of factory, you'll have elevations of various compounds in your body, nickel, cadmium, mercury. In America, they discovered not that long ago that a lot of the internal lakes were being poisoned by mercury, and the Environmental Protection Agency started to work out why. It was because they weren't really sufficiently stopping the mercury emissions from cremation chambers, because the average person who gets cremated has got up to 13 different fillings. So of course that mercury gets vaporized, and if you cremate enough people, you're going to have mercury shifting in the air, being dumped in water. So the point I'm making is you can't separate yourself from heavy metals. They're around you all the time. But the question is, how do you know that the heavy metals are causing the problem with your body, that they're actually invoking a mercury response? And then some people will say, Baka, you're a fool. Everyone needs detoxing. We all need to be squeaky clean. We shouldn't have any chemicals in our bloodstream at all. We should have be squeaky clean. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't live like that on planet Earth. Maybe if we shift over to Pluto or Mars or some other country or world or whatever, we may be free from this stuff. But living here, you'll never be free of chemicals. You can take precautions. You can get the amalgam fillings taken out. But how long will it be before other chemicals come into the body? So what am I trying to say here to you? I'm saying be careful and don't jump into the hoop that I did, is to spend 4 or 5 grand, get all your fillings removed and think that was the silver bullet. Because now that I think back, it was a very small part of the silver bullet for me to get well. The biggest part of my recovery from Candida was understanding the link between my shitty job and my crappy personal relationships with people and, some of the crap I was eating, by making changes. But not only that, it was also then working with many thousands of patients for many, many, many years and seeing the links, multiple links with lifestyle, diet and stress, and toxins being consumed, for example, and their outcomes when it came to, Candida or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So Mercury certainly is linked up with Candida, but don't see it as the be it end all. Don't think that if you get all of your amalgams replaced and get all composite fillings put in, then ka-ching, you wake up in the morning and oh my God, everything's so beautiful, I feel amazing. It doesn't work like that, all right? It doesn't work like that. It's an expensive process. It may help you. It's helped some of my patients as part of their recovery. But then again, they made a lot of changes on many fronts. So it's very hard to tell you, yes, it's the biggest thing that you need to do is to get your fillings taken out. Okay, I tend to put it on the back burner for a while and say to people, let's look at your lifestyle. Let's look at how long you stay up on the internet. Let's look at the kind of relationships you've got with people you're close to or people you work with. Let's look at the kind of shitty foods that you're eating, how much alcohol you're drinking. These are the more important things to me, because we cannot separate ourselves from our environment. We can clean ourselves up, but ultimately toxins will come back in again to a high degree. So that's my take on it for what it's worth. Do the homework, do the hair test, do the provocation test. Work out the costs of this. Work out also the cost to you, in terms of making broad sweeping lifestyle changes, job changes, career changes, diet changes, attitude changes. All these things to me are more important than getting some fillings pulled out of your mouth and thinking that it's Alice in Wonderland. You're going to live in this fantasy land of fantastic health because you've done that one blooming thing. All right? That's my take on it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be very curious to see some of the comments I get. I might have to turn some of the comments off because some of the comments I've been getting have not been too good. It's incredible how many trolls are out there and some of the hate mail I receive from people. But folks, I'm doing all this for free. I don't expect anything in return, okay? Give me your views on what it was like when you got all your amalgams taken out. Did you wake up 500 pounds lighter, 10 years younger, and the whole world changed for you? I'd like to hear about it. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to click on the link below if you haven't got my report, and catch up next time.